You know that feeling, right? Waking up in a cold sweat, a nightmare? Or maybe it's not even a dream. It's that constant low humming anxiety of modern life, you know? The weight of just uncertainty that kind of follows you around all day. And then sometimes it's that deep feeling of helplessness, where the challenges in front of you just feel way too big. We've all been there. But what if I told you there's a spiritual sanctuary, a source of incredible comfort designed to tackle these exact feelings head on? Today, we are diving into one of the most powerful verses in the entire Quran, Ayat al-Kursi, also known as the throne verse. Now, this isn't just a string of words. For millions, it's a deep well of peace, a shield for the soul. So let's get into why this one single verse holds so much power and meaning. So, first things first, let's talk about the human quest. Really, we're all looking for some kind of unshakable pillar in what can feel like a very shaky world. I mean, just look around us. Global crises, personal anxieties, the nonstop flood of information. It's only natural to search for something solid, something permanent to hold on to when everything else feels like it's shifting sand. This verse speaks right to that core human need for a real anchor. And that anchor, as the verse explains, is found when you understand the source of all existence itself. So let's look at a couple of the core attributes of God that are described right here. Okay, so the verse introduces this incredibly powerful concept, El-Kayyum. This isn't just about being strong, it's about being the very foundation that reality is built on. Everything in existence, I mean, from the most distant galaxies to the very atoms inside you, depends on this one, single, self-sustaining source. It's a mind-blowing idea of absolute, total stability. And this line just illustrates that point so beautifully. I mean, think about it. Every single created thing needs rest. We're vulnerable when we sleep. So this metaphor of God never sleeping, not even getting drowsy, it highlights this constant, unwavering vigilance. It's a really powerful contrast that's meant to give you this deep comfort. The one upholding the entire universe is always aware, always present. So this idea of divine stability and watchfulness, well, it naturally builds into a powerful sense of protection. It's like a shield, but one that's forged from infinite knowledge. You see, the verse draws this really clear line between our understanding and the divine's. Our knowledge, it's like a tiny island in a vast, endless ocean. We forget things, we make mistakes, we have huge blind spots. But the knowledge described here is absolute. It covers the past, the present, the future, everything you can see, and everything you can't. So when protection comes from that source, it's not based on spotty information, it is total. And what happens when you truly grasp that? It creates this internal realization, what's known in Turkish as a manevi zırh, a spiritual armor. It's like a psychological shield. Just knowing you are under the care of an all-knowing, ever-vigilant power gives you a kind of resilience that's deeper than just physical protection. It calms your fears and builds this incredible inner strength. This line is just amazing. Imagine upholding the entire cosmos, every star, every single planet, every living thing. You'd think that would be a huge effort, right? But the verse says, nope, it doesn't burden him in the slightest. It's such a powerful reminder that no matter how overwhelming our own problems might feel to us, they are never, ever too big for this infinite source of strength. Okay, so this isn't just some beautiful ancient poetry. The sources show how these principles are seen as a moral and ethical compass, one that offers some really profound answers to some of our biggest modern challenges. So let's break this down. First, if you see the universe as a trust, an eminent, and not just our property to use and abuse, that completely changes our relationship with the environment, right? It creates this deep sense of stewardship. Second, in an age of amazing technology, remembering that our knowledge is actually tiny is the perfect antidote to arrogance. It encourages humility. And third, if the ultimate authority belongs only to God, well, that completely undermines human systems built on favoritism and injustice. It calls for a society where fairness is the standard. What's so remarkable here is how this one verse is like a root system feeding so many different parts of life. It's not just about your own personal comfort. It's a blueprint for a just society, a sustainable planet, and a humble heart. Its wisdom is meant to flow into every part of our lives. So now let's bring it all back home, to the personal level. Because beyond all these big ideas, this verse is cherished as a daily harbor, an armor that brings real, genuine peace to the heart. And for people who really connect with it, the benefits are tangible. The sources describe this powerful shift. Anxiety starts to fade away, and it's replaced by this deep sense of hope and security. You find a new well of patience, of resilience. It becomes a source of comfort when times are tough, and, as tradition holds, a shield against our deepest fears, even those bad dreams we started with. It's a direct answer to those anxieties. So you see, it becomes so much more than just reciting something. It becomes a practice, a daily conscious choice to turn to that source of infinite stability, to draw strength from it, and to renew your hope for the day ahead, or to find peace for the night to come. And that brings us to the final question, and this one is for you to reflect on. If you were to truly internalize this feeling of being protected by an all-knowing, ever-present, and unburdened power, what could that spiritual armor change in your life? What fears might just melt away? What new strengths might you discover? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.